Official HELPOLOGY press release. Breaking news, HELPOLOGY, 2 hours ago. HELPOLOGY top 15, quote, world's most helpful videos, end quote, say experts. Detroit, HELPOLOGY. Simple Einstein quote creates history's most helpful science. HELPOLOGY shares most helpful knowledge of all time, experts say. Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein's curiosity and childlike wonder led him to explore problems and concepts most other people didn't notice or care about. As he began to explore these ideas, his nonconformist thinking enabled him to question fundamental and widely held assumptions, which ultimately led to profound insights. After much study and deep thought, Einstein concluded the best design is the simplest one that works. 50 years later, Einstein's genius wisdom inspired us to discover the HELPOLOGY question. H question, what's the most helpful and simplest way that works? Said David and Faith Yah Christian, HELPOLOGY founders. Did Elon Musk, modern-day Einstein and richest man in the world, actually predict humanity needed HELPOLOGY? One of the really tough things is figuring out what questions to ask. Once you figure out the question, then the answer is relatively easy, said Musk. Musk would be delighted to know the Christians finally discovered the most effective problem-solving question anyone can ask. The Christians enthusiastically explained. First, HELPOLOGY is the biblical and scientific study of the world's most helpful products and services. Second, HELPOLOGICAL is the most helpful and simplest way that works. Third, a HELPologist is one who biblically and scientifically researches, uses, and recommends the world's most helpful products and services. Einstein said, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Clearly, the Christians understand their new profession well enough to be able to explain it so simply, even a child can understand. Further, Musk said, it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. The first step is to establish something is possible. Then probability will occur. I would just question things. It would infuriate my parents. I wouldn't just believe them when they said something because I'd ask them why. And then I'd consider whether that response made sense given everything else I knew. I came to the conclusion we should aspire to increase the scope and scale of human consciousness in order to better understand what questions to ask. Really, the only thing that makes sense is to strive for greater collective enlightenment. If you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, it is a bright day. Otherwise, it's not. There have to be reasons that you get up in the morning and you want to live. Why do you want to live? What's the point? What inspires you? What do you love about the future? If you go back a few hundred years, what we take for granted today would seem like magic. Being able to talk to people over long distances, to transmit images, flying, accessing vast amounts of data like an oracle. These are all things that would have been considered magic a few hundred years ago. I don't spend my time pontificating about high concept things. I spend my time solving engineering and manufacturing problems. Optimism, pessimism, F that. We're going to make it happen. As God or Yah as my bloody witness, I'm hell-bent on making it work. Physics is a good framework for thinking. Boil things down to their fundamental truths and reason up from there. One particular thing that I learned at Queen's, both from faculty and students, was how to work collaboratively with smart people and make use of the Socratic method to achieve commonality of purpose. Developed by the Greek philosopher Socrates, the Socratic method is a dialogue between teacher and students, instigated by the continual probing questions of the teacher, in a concerted effort to explore the underlying beliefs that shape the students' views and opinions. Under the Socratic method, there are various ways professors can question their students. Typically, however, the questioning usually lies at opposite ends of a spectrum. For example, a professor might pick a student at random and question them rapid fire for the entire duration of the class. Here are the 6 types of questions Socrates posed. 1. Clarifying concepts. 2. Probing assumptions. 3. Probing rationale, reasons, and evidence. 4. Questioning viewpoints and perspectives. 5. Probing implications and consequences. 6. Questioning the question. Wow. It's a highly effective way to clarify and unpack one's beliefs and to examine the assumptions, evidence, reason, etc. used to support them. It makes you active in your thinking rather than passive. For example, when you're listening to a lecture or watching a YouTube video. The Socratic method improves your critical thinking skills. Critical thinking is a higher order thinking skill. Higher order thinking skills go beyond basic observation of facts and memorization. They are what we are talking about when we want our students to be evaluative, creative, and innovative. Furthermore, Musk said, I'm hopeful children will do things like engineering or write books or just in some way add more than they take from the world. The thing that's worth doing is trying to improve our understanding of the world and gain a better appreciation of the universe and not to worry too much about there being no meaning. And try and enjoy yourself because actually life's pretty good. It really is. My biggest mistake is probably weighing too much on someone's talent and not someone's personality. I think it matters whether someone has a good heart. You want to be extra rigorous about making the best possible thing you can. Find everything that's wrong with it and fix it. Seek negative feedback, particularly from friends. Going from PayPal, I thought, well, what are some of the other problems that are likely to most affect the future of humanity? Not from the perspective, what's the best way to make money? People should pursue what they're passionate about. That will make them happier than pretty much anything else. It's obvious the Christians are passionate about Helpology. There are 2 YouTube channels, Helpology and Helpology Sefer, showcase a mind-blowing 25,000 plus of the world's most helpful videos anyone can watch at absolutely no cost. It's no wonder leading experts predict Helpology will go down in history as the world's most helpful service of all time. Excuse me. No other single resource even comes close to the practical knowledge available through Helpology. In fact, students should be studying this in every school, in every university, every public school, every elementary school. They should be watching these YouTube videos. Further still, Einstein said, "The world we have made as a result of the level of thinking we have done thus far creates problems we cannot solve at the same level as we created them. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. The whole of science is nothing more than a refinement of everyday thinking. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Imagination is the preview of life's coming attractions. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. Intellectuals solve problems. Geniuses prevent them. Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. Before Yah, we are all equally wise and equally foolish. I want to know Yah's thoughts. All the rest are just details. I have no special talent. I'm only passionately curious. It's not that I'm so smart. I just stay with problems longer. Most people say it is the intellect which makes a great scientist. They are wrong. It is character. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. Love is a better teacher than duty. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. Joy in looking and comprehending is nature's most beautiful gift. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. A person starts to live when he can live outside himself. Everybody is a genius. Where the world ceases to be the scene of our personal hopes and wishes, where we face it as free beings, admiring, asking, observing, there we enter the realm of art and science. All religions, arts, and sciences are branches of the same tree. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. He who can no longer pause to wonder and stand wrapped in awe is as good as dead. His eyes are closed. A calm and modest life brings more happiness than the pursuit of success, combined with constant restlessness. The most beautiful experience we can have is the mysterious. It is the source of all true art and science. True religion is real living, living with all one's soul, with all one's goodness and righteousness. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. A happy man is too satisfied with the present to dwell too much on the future. Strive not to be a success, rather to be of value or helpfulness. I believe in one thing, that only a life lived for others is a life worth living. Education is not the learning of facts. It is rather the training of the mind to think. The helpology question: what's the most helpful and simplest way that works? I can is 100 times more important than IQ. Great spirits have often encountered violent opposition from weak minds. Never lose a holy curiosity. Holy means set apart. There are two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a freaking miracle. Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important thing is to not stop questioning with the helpology question. What's the most helpful and simplest way that works? Moreover, the famous Greek tragedian Euripides, who wrote an astonishing 92 plays, said, "Talk sense to a fool, and he calls you foolish. Whoso neglects learning in his youth loses the past and is dead for the future." Silence is true wisdom's best reply. The good and the wise lead quiet lives. We must take care of our minds because we cannot benefit from beauty when our brains are missing. A man's most valuable trait is a judicious sense of what not to believe. No man on earth is truly free. All are slaves of money or necessity. Public opinion or fear of prosecution forces each one against his conscience to conform. The only ones that are truly free are born-again believers in the scriptures. They do not have this fear. It's supernatural. A slave is he who cannot speak his thoughts. I would rather die on my feet than live on my knees. Friendship doubles your joys and divides your sorrows. Real friendship is shown in times of trouble. Prosperity is full of friends. One loyal friend is worth 10,000 relatives. Do not plan for ventures before finishing what's at hand. Worse than a true evil is to bear the burden of faults that are not truly yours. Money is the wise man's religion. Judge a tree from its fruit, not from its leaves. Waste no tears over the griefs of yesterday. It is the wise man's part to leave in darkness everything that is ugly. There is no worse evil than a bad woman. And nothing has ever been produced better than a good one. The man is happiest who lives from day to day and asks no more, garnering the simple goodness of life. The best and safest thing is to keep a balance in your life. Acknowledge the great powers around us and in us. If you can do that and live that way, you are really a wise man. The wisest men follow their own direction. You will not achieve happiness if you don't work hard. And it's a shame not to want to work hard. Question every freaking thing. Learn something. In summary, David also shared an acknowledgement he made in 1994 as a 24-year-old atheist under his former pen name, Dominic Ficini. In his first self-help book, How to Gain Love, Respect, Happiness, Health, and Wealth, Personal Perfection of Your Mind, your personal guide to continuous improvement. I want to thank the man who helped me learn how to help myself, Anthony Robbins. Finally, Robbins, the world-famous motivational guru and nation's top life and business strategist who has inspired millions to achieve great success, said, "The quality of your life is a direct reflection of the quality of the questions you are asking yourself. So ask the helpology question. What's the most helpful and simplest way that works. Identify your problems, but give your power and energy to solutions. Your past does not equal your future. The path to success is to take massive, determined action. Live life fully while you're here. Experience everything. Take care of yourself and your friends. Have fun. Be crazy. Be weird. Go out and screw up. You're going to anyway, so you might as well enjoy the process. It's not knowing what to do. It's doing what you know. That's because knowledge is knowing what to do. Wisdom is doing what you know. And knowledge is only potential power. It is said that knowledge is power. However, knowledge is only potential power. It has to be turned into wisdom. That is, you have to do it in order for it to be powerful. So it has to be turned from knowledge into wisdom. So we got to figure out how to actually do what you know. Because a lot of people know what to do. For example, they know how to diet. They know how to exercise. But they don't do it. I'm guilty of that myself. Most people fail in life because they major in minor things. Why not major in helpology? Anyone can do it. It's free. All you have to do is ask and answer, and if you want to, pray the helpology question. And you'll be thinking like genius Einstein. What's the most helpful and freaking simplest way that freaking works? It's what you practice in private that you will be rewarded for in public. If you can't, you must. If you must, you can. We can change our lives. We can do, have, and be exactly what we wish or pray for. I challenge you to make your life a masterpiece. I challenge you to join the ranks of those people who live what they teach, who walk their freaking talk. Leaders spend 5% of their time on the problem and 95% of their time on the solution. Get over it and crush it. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. The quality of your life is the quality of your relationships. If you want to be successful, find someone who has achieved the results you want and copy what they do, and you'll achieve the same results. Every problem is a gift. Without problems, we would not grow. Where focus goes, energy flows. Repetition is the mother of skill. I believe life is constantly testing us for our level of commitment. And life's greatest rewards are reserved for those who demonstrate a never-ending commitment to act until they achieve. This level of resolve can move mountains, but it must be constant and consistent. Helpology was developed back. The goal was set when I was 18. I'm 52 now. The goal was set when I was 18. I was listening to Tony Robbins. He taught me to set big and crazy goals and have fun doing them. So I set this crazy goal. It was a humble goal. I wasn't being prideful. I wasn't trying to become famous or popular or well-known or rich. I just said, well, you know what? If I can set any goal, I'd like to become the most helpful person of all time. If you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. Successful people ask better questions, and as a result, they get better answers. In conclusion, never before in history has one been able to think with Einstein's genius to quickly and easily save time, energy, and money for free by applying helpology to every area of one's life, business, or ministry by simply asking or praying the helpology question. H question, what's the most helpful and simplest way that works? When the solution is simple, Yah is answering, said Einstein. Testimonials. I appreciate David Yah Christian's Helpology. David has done an excellent job putting together very helpful videos that can assist anyone looking for powerful insights and answers to life's problems and challenges. Brian Kluth, best-selling author, 40-Day Spiritual Journey to a More Generous Life, and founder, Generous Life. David Yah Christian's community service is reflective of the activity and information generated through Helpology. Personally, I recommend David as a trusted friend and professional associate. Also, I firmly believe Helpology will help countless others to learn to help themselves. David is truly working from the grace of Yah. Brian Hattow, internet professional. Mr. Christian is competent and professional, and the quality of his work is first rate. He is also a pleasant, conscientious, organized, and team-motivated individual. He possesses leadership abilities and professional acumen. I strongly recommend David. Nikki Smith, Associate Faculty, Maricosta College. Christian's maturity and motivation are demonstrated with billboard clarity in everything he applies himself to. His determination to excel as a Marine, and more importantly, a person, is noteworthy. David's maturity has catapulted him toward goals above and beyond the normal scope. Unique to his style of leadership are his back-breaking efforts to help others. His daily doses of motivation and esprit de corps are distributed throughout the office as soon as he walks into the room. His eagerness to assist others in their assigned tasks and his patient ability to teach others the job skills is, again, uncharacteristic of the average. One of the first Marines to step forward when volunteers are needed, Christian is one of the finest the Marine Corps public affairs community has to offer. Christian is recommended with enthusiasm. Larry Holloway, Gunnery Sergeant, United States Marine Corps. Colonel Coulter praises you for your enthusiasm, professionalism, and helpful can-do attitude. He calls you the cream of the freaking crop. Well done. You are clearly taking seriously the freaking service mission, dude. For all your good work, please accept my praise. Keep it up. You're making a freaking difference. A.B. Davis, Brigadier General, United States Marine Corps. David is very intelligent, outgoing, and charismatic. People like David very much. He's very well organized and demonstrates good critical thinking skills. He's an excellent communicator, verbally and in writing. Perhaps the outstanding characteristic that David demonstrated was this dude's freaking work ethic. He always did more than what was required. And the work he did at a freaking superior level, man. Emilio Antonio Nunez Jr., Associate Professor, Biola University. David Yah Christian is one of the most outgoing and enthusiastic people I have ever had the pleasure of working with. It was very evident from the first time we met. David's infectious and positive attitude was extremely well suited to evangelizing a company in the marketplace. David applied himself conscientiously and constantly strove to find new and innovative ways to align the customer's interests with the interest of the company. His effervescent personality is unmatched and would serve any company well. Dan Collins, Director of Sales, Total Training Incorporated. David's great work is overshadowed only by his virtue as a human being. David is not driven by a desire for riches or fame, but by a calling to serve humanity. That's the real deal with this dude. He's affable, humble, and energetic. He genuinely cares about people. David loves to learn and is eager to expand his skill set. Christian is a guy who pulls his own weight at work while expanding his career horizon through higher education. His Thomas Jefferson Award for Photojournalist of the Year for the entire Department of Defense, Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marine Corps is equivalent to winning a freaking Oscar for top military photojournalist. He's a dynamo who's self-motivated enough to become self-engrossed. Yet he avoids such excesses Balancing his work ethic with a heartfelt compassion for others, including his coworkers, he's always quick with a smile and an encouraging word. He's a pleasure to work with and would be a pleasure to work for. Brian LeMay, Managing Editor, The Scout Newspaper. H question, what's the most helpful and simplest way that freaking works? To learn more, Google Helpology Top 15. Helpology is a nonprofit Christian ministry, the biblical and scientific study of the world's most helpful products and services in Detroit, serving humanity through 2 YouTube channels, Helpology and Helpology Sefer, which showcase more than 25,000 of the world's most popular and helpful videos. As co-founding helpologists of Helpology, David and HalleluYAH Christian, biblically and scientifically, research, use, and recommend the world's most helpful products and services. David is a disabled, former Marine Iraq War veteran who won the Thomas Jefferson Award for Photojournalist of the Year in 2003 for the entire Department of Defense, Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marine Corps, which is equivalent to winning an Oscar for top military photojournalist. He is author of 2 books, How to Gain Love, Respect, Happiness, Health, and Wealth, Personal Perfection of Your Mind, Your Personal Guide to Continuous Improvement by Dominic Ficini, 1994, his former pen name when he wrote it as an atheist at age 24, and Dave Christian's Helpology, 2012. In his first book, David acknowledged Tony Robbins, the legendary motivational guru, as follows. I want to thank the man who helped me learn how to help myself. Anthony Robbins. David is a well-known public figure and social media influencer on Facebook. Faith is a junior high school teacher, student counselor, and mother of 5 in the Philippines. David and HalleluYAH Christian, Helpology founders, 313-405-730-3. david.yah.christian@gmail.com. That's david.yah.christian@gmail.com. Hallelujah.